I got an Akashic Records reading a couple years ago, and I left it feeling pretty salty. I felt like maybe I was duped. Some of the things that she said just were not at all aligned and didn't feel like some kind of profound spiritual guidance. It felt like just some random advice. And there was other things that I was, nope, absolutely not. That's not accurate at all. At the time, I worked for a nonprofit, and she had said like my ultimate like life's purpose, or what I was gonna do, was like I was gonna become a consultant for this particular nonprofit to teach them how to love, to teach them how to infuse love in the workplace. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not going to be any kind of consultant. Anyway, but there were a couple of different things that have popped up since then. And I'm like, maybe. This is what I'm doing now. This happened before, and I can't remember the first instance of this, but today, again, this is popping up majorly. I work for a large corporation. Work gets very busy and hectic, and sometimes people get overwhelmed while other people might have downtime, what have you. And I'm trying to figure out, as someone who, when I'm at work, I'm going to work, I want to seek out where others need help because I need something to do. Makes sense, right? Well, not everybody has that mindset. And right now, there's a big like clash of people because of it. We're starting to see some, some things slipping through the cracks and some other mistakes being made, when we really just have to have each other's backs. I'm like, that's what it needs to come down to, is not cracking the whip. Yes, we have these rules, but here's why we do. And we have to help each other out. We have to look at it. This is a team effort. This is my main job. But when I got downtime, I'm going to help you out, because when I'm swamped, you're going to help me out. That's just what it needs to be. There needs to be the expectation that when we're at work, we're going to work. And if someone's fucking around, we're going to call you out. And it needs to just be part of the culture. When I've had jobs where coworkers could do that and it wasn't confrontational, to just say, hey, I'm going to need you to stop playing that game on your phone and help me. Like, and that is, people feel confronted with from something that small. That's a culture thing, My very first teaching job was one where we were constantly in and out of classrooms giving and receiving feedback, because we worked at a very like high stakes behavior facility, where we had a very tight system. Because of that system, it worked, and we really, really helped kids. It's phenomenal. And, giving each other feedback was just part of the culture. So as my first, I felt like real job, like obviously I've had lots of jobs in my life, but this was after I got a degree, and was a specialist in behavior. And like, I really know what I'm doing here. I see how that kind of culture is so much better for productivity in the bottom line. And when it starts, it's awkward, but you have to kind of make it happen. And I'm starting to see these things like, this is the other example. It's like one of my first few weeks there, I was learning my job. I couldn't really bounce around and help in other places yet, but I could see the overwhelm in this particular person who is neurodivergent. And I'm like, he's gonna fucking blow. I saw it coming. And I wished I had known better how to advocate or help him at the time. So I'm like, that's what it is. It's like, we need to know our job well. And we also need to know the job of the people around us enough to help them out. And it has to be a team effort. It has to be a, hey, we're all in here to get this job done. Period. And that's the thing. And I feel like that's where the love comes in. To me, that's loving. That's loving to, instead of looking at a problem, where are we going to lay the smack down, or how are we going to change things to be productive? It's like, how can we change things to connect better with each other? Because when you start doing that, another thing is the person who trains the newest people isn't always the most pleasant person to work with. Very moody, etc. Right? Like, I'm very uncomfortable working with this person. If they give that new person half the attitude they give me, of course they're not going to want to come back. We have a lot of turnover. We have a lot of like new hires who don't come back for day 2 or day 3. And to me, that's a culture thing. So I have set up a meeting, and now because of another thing, a culture thing, it's starting to show in our numbers, like, and our data and our productivity, So I'm like, and there was a very specific big thing that was on me and my particular team. I don't personally feel at blame for it because I know how hard I was working that day. Anyway, either way, it was like, hey, I took accountability, but I'm like, here's the thing. All right, there's been this thing going on that's been a bit of a problem for me. But now it's clearly a bigger problem than just my problem if that's happening. So I'm having a meeting with my boss to talk about these things. So this is the kind of stuff I want to talk about. So I kind of almost feel like I'm going to be going into this meeting. I'm a problem solver. So when I go to my boss with a problem, I also come with a solution. That's my thing. And I feel like, could I be a consultant for these companies to teach bosses how to establish a family atmosphere, establish that team thing that we really, really are missing these days? Like, maybe.